So in 10 minutes, it'll be Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate it. I no longer celebrate it due to my ethnic history and stuff and the commercials that changed my mind about Thanksgiving. So this is part two of racism in the Peanuts Thanksgiving. All right. So somebody took a lot of time, which made me just take a lot of time to look up the Peanuts. And Franklin is token black in the Peanuts. He's one black guy. And I was correct. There are no other ethnicities in the Peanuts outside of white people and Franklin. So Franklin is that one raisin in a bowl of milk. He's that token black guy. There are no Native American characters. There are no white characters outside of the white ones that are there, but they're the only white characters there. There are no Asians. And that will cover everything. There are no Asians, meaning Mexican or any other person of ethnicity that is linked to Asia or anywhere else that has been conquered by Spain and then rule over lots of things. Now, to that social justice warrior, I don't know if I should give you the thumbs up or the finger, so we're just going to give you a crisp high five. Okay, that was a high 10, 15. Anyway, I never really thought of the Peanuts as racist. But I also never really sat down to take the time to actually watch this shit to see just how racist it was, because it's like, oh, it's Charlie Brown. What do you remember about Charlie Brown? I can tell you what I can remember about Charlie Brown. Lucy telling Charlie Brown to kick the ball, and he kicked himself right out of his goddamn clothes. When she snatched the ball away, and he put all that momentum into the ball, and he flies like 50 miles and shit, and when he gets down, he's down to his shorts and his drawers. Out of his shoes. He's got one curly cue for hair. And he has like serious male pattern balding and shit. And his sister has lovely blonde hair. And Lucy's always taking people's money as she counsels them. Linus has a blanket. I just got introduced to Rerun, who's the youngest brother of them all. I didn't even know he freaking existed. So that should tell you how much I pay attention to the goddamn plastic Peanuts. But to top that off, there's always been only one black character. And that's what's bringing us to this video tonight. So if you've seen the first video, and I've read as best I could about how Franklin has a lawn chair while everybody else has proper footgear or furniture. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. And for the longest time, I knew Pigpen was a white kid, but he just like stayed dirty. I don't understand how he like didn't get taken from his parents, because if you send your kid to school and they're not properly dressed, or if they're covered in dirt, these days your ass is going to jail for abuse and neglect. But I guess back in the 70s, I guess they were like really, really laxed. Or they were coming down from all the times that everybody's parents was smoking weed and free love and shit. But that's neither here or there. I want to voice my opinion, but I'm so spinned in a circle, because when you look at the Peanuts, the last thing you really even remember or thinking about is race. And I guess when they came out, the only race that the Americas or Charles Schultz himself was really concerned with was black people. Concerned enough to put at least one black person in this cartoon. So I guess the revolutions in China and the Vietnam War and Pearl Harbor and all that shit wasn't a big concern to the creator of the Peanuts, God rest his soul. I am not judging Charles Schultz, because the Peanuts is pretty good books. And if you're going to try to make the Peanuts racist, that's just like saying Dr. Seuss is racist, because he didn't really have people of color in there either. And all his people were like Who's and Elephant and Pop on Pop and Twin Yellow Bears and shit. And for that matter, same can be said about the Berenstain Bears and everything else that came out in the late 70s, early 60s, or early 60s, late 70s, whatever the hell you're going to go with. But anyway, it wasn't one of the things. And something I have to say now that is completely irrelevant to this, but relevant at the same time. It was like really the deceleration of comics which led to having more ethnic background superheroes in both Marvel and DC and independent comics. Because Superman was white forever, and Batman was white forever, Wonder Woman was white forever, and you didn't really explore any other outlets. The Phantom, Flash Gordon, Mandrake, the only black person of color way back then was Lothar. And Lothar, he was chilling with Mandrake the Magician. Never really ventured out on his own much. It's just one of those things that you had Lothar because he was the big burly black bodyguard that everybody was pretty scared of because he could wear his little jungle outfit and throw your ass across the room. Which again is not here or there, and I'll probably make a whole separate video about racism in comic books and shit. But anyway, the whole point of this is that someone took the time to go and point out gross detail of Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving, of how the poor black kid got the lawn chair and all the white kids got regular seating. Now, I want to thank that social justice warrior first, because that's a fact. But the problem is, what the hell were you doing to make you just sit down and say, I'm going to watch this cartoon, and I'm going to point out the fact that, first off, there's only one black guy in the Peanuts. Second off, the black guy gets the worst cheer that you can have to eat Thanksgiving. And I guess everybody went around the table and telling them what they were thankful for. I kind of really didn't see that in the interview. And I don't really remember Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving talking about it. I do remember the Great Pumpkin because they showed that. I apparently was busy trying to help my mom with Thanksgiving dinner for that holiday that we're having tomorrow, which will be in 15 minutes. It'll probably be interrupting my video with my alarm. If I can finish before that, then that would be great. But then you have Charlie Brown's Christmas, as I pointed out in the other video, and I touched this little freaking rat patchy tree here. As a kid, I never really noticed that Charlie Brown didn't have but one black character, but I also didn't really read the newspaper talking about it, because that just wasn't my thing. Why read the newspaper when every time there's a special day comes out, we got Charlie Brown's Christmas, we got Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, we got Charlie Brown's Great Pumpkin thing. There may be a couple of more Charlie Brown things, but I'm 46. I don't fucking remember that shit. But the whole point is that I'm up against the fence, because on the one hand, you have this social justice warrior guy who literally took the time to watch this cartoon and nitpicked every little thing on it. And at the same time, should I be grateful that the social justice warrior actually woke me up to this? Or should I be disappointed that he turned one of the best cartoons into a racial debate? You guys let me know how you feel about that. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. Be seeing you.